Review code provided by the developer. I've said this before, but no other genre of video games makes me feel more like a kid again than 3D platformers. To me, it's like distilling video games into their purest form, a big, colorful playground to mess around in. Big Hops has that secret sauce in spades. Each of its worlds is a joy to traverse, and its inventory-based emergent platforming is a blast to experiment with. You play as a frog named Hop. The story is pretty straightforward. Hop gets whisked away from his family and has to make it back to them by collecting 3 airship parts across 3 multi-area worlds, all the while picking up mysterious dark dribs for a demonic-ish looking entity named Dis. It's not the strongest narrative in the world, and at a glance each subplot feels pretty similar, but I did like some of the themes explored, and overall, the presentation is quite lovely, especially the voice acting. I'm a big fan of Steve Blum. There's plenty of things to collect in this game. You've got the main MacGuffins, or the dark drips, as well as bugs, and some fun cosmetics and upgrades as well. The areas you explore are bright, colorful, and very fun to run around in. The game is structured with both linear sections and some bigger, more open areas to explore. Hop has a simple but fun moveset. You can dive, long jump, crouch jump, and grapple and swing off certain objects with your tongue. Where things get really juicy, however, is with the veggie system. Throughout each area, you collect seeds and plants that interact with the world and the environment in different ways. Super early on, you get simple mushrooms that you can bounce on, as well as the game-breaking acorns, which grow a little stalk that you can climb on. I used these the entire game and never not had fun using them to skip certain sequences. When I first encountered cactus fruit in the second area that could create these tight ropes or web lines from one surface to another, similar to Marvel's Spider-Man 2 of all things, I really started to see the potential of how many possibilities there are using these veggies. You're limited by your inventory, but you can upgrade it, and with a little bit of planning, you can come up with all sorts of unique and fun solutions for each challenge the game throws your way. Now, if you don't like to experiment, there's always some veggies nearby that will work for what you need in each area, as well as fun, linear challenge levels hidden in each world. But whichever way you decide to play, I'd say Big Hops feels really unique, and there's a lot of fun to be had. Now, I do have a couple of quick jabs that I'd like to toss out. Fast travel in this game is not unlocked until right before the very, very end of the game, which kinda killed my enthusiasm for doing any of the completion goals. Maybe I'd consider doing more manual backtracking to collect the things I missed, but the main collectibles don't actually do anything for you, and the minor collectibles you get, which do let you upgrade things, reach a max level fairly quick into your playthrough. Now, it's not a big deal, but I did think it was worth noting that if you're someone who really likes to take their time exploring and going back to get things you missed before then moving on, you can do that. It's just going to be pretty lengthy to backtrack since you don't get fast travel until the very end. As other reviews have noted, there is also a fair amount of glitches that I encountered as well, but I will say the developer has been really proactive about patching them out on a weekly and sometimes even daily basis, which I'm really impressed by. I played on Switch 2, and it was pretty smooth all the way through. From what I understand, it's not ideal on Switch 1, so I'd recommend Switch 2 or other platforms. But if you have to stick with Switch 1, it should be fine. You just might have some variable frame rates. Honestly, the biggest glitch I encountered was a soft lock early on that eventually got patched a few days after I hit it. So overall, I think it's in a good place if you want to pick it up now, and probably an even better place if you wait a couple weeks. So who do I recommend this game to? I think, especially for the price, this is a very enjoyable, lengthy adventure for fans of 3D platformers. I would put it right up there with A Hat in Time in terms of some of the best indie entries in that genre. And if you don't generally play games like that, but you do like to experiment and come up with your own solutions, like in Tears of the Kingdom, for example, this game might just scratch that itch for you too. But those are my thoughts. Until next time, I'm Jared, and I'll level with you then.